I'll just remind him. All right. The rest you will have to write. So I'm just that's only a type of blueprint, right? So there's anything. So hadas means impurity. So any type of impurity that comes out of the body, which Shariat has declared to be impurity. Any purity that comes out of the body which Shariat has declared to be impurity is called hadath. And then a person has to do wudu or ghusl accordingly. There's two types of impurity. One is hakiki and one is hukmi. What does hakiki mean? That has got a body, that you can see it, that you can, right? And that's of two types then. One is that type of impurity which you can see, which is got a body, which you can say is according to practice, according to, for instance, these things come in our habit, blood, etc. Blood coming out, pus coming out from a boil. These are according to what? Habit. And there are ones that are not according to habit, which are called ghair aditan. Like for instance, so there's only one here, and then it's blood. Blood doesn't come out, other things come out from the back and the front. Yes, pus from boils, etc. You can say pus comes here as well, boils, not here. Yes, a wound. So you want to say wound comes here as well. These are, you can say these are not natural. These are natural ones. Natural impurities that come out of the body. For instance, what are those? Things that come out from the back or the front, etc. Yes, or you can say a person going crazy, a person faint, a person falling unconscious, etc. These all come under adatan, meaning that a person comes across. You can say not on a daily basis, but it comes across easier compared to these ones. For instance, you don't get a cut on your body every day. Yes. On the same token, you don't get blood coming out of your body every day. On the same token, you don't get boils on your body every day. So these are what? These are ghair adatan, unnatural. So you can call these one natural and these one unnatural. But you don't have to do. But this is a division which you will find in the books of classical books of fiqh. But you won't find it in normal books. So you can keep these all under one if you want. You can keep these all under one. So there's about 20 things that break wuzu. How many? 20 which the fuqaha have mentioned. So you can keep them all under one. It doesn't make a difference. Books are all going to come under this one. Got it? And there are some things which a purity doesn't come out of the body. So these ones are those things, these things you can see. This impurity you can see with the eyes. It's tangible, yes? And you can experience it and you can feel it. This type of impurity you cannot feel. It's not tangible and it hasn't got a body. Shariat has declared that you are in the state of impurity. Shariat has declared you are in the state of impurity. For instance, if a person is in the need of wuzu, Shariat has declared this person to be in the state of impurity, even though there's no impurity on his body. Yes? Maybe he hasn't even gone toilet. There's no blood coming out. There's no pus. But Shariat said if this person is not in the state of wuzu, he's in the state of what? Hadas. And a person who is in the state of hadas, he has to do wudu before praying, etc. So these are, so now out of this, now as far as this one is concerned, where Shariat has declared, why has Shariat declared these ones, which we will mention later? Why has Shariat declared these ones, these scenarios where a person has to do wuzu? For instance, a person that goes asleep, a sleeping person. So Sharia says a person that goes asleep, when he gets up from sleep, what does he have to do if he wants to pray? But like here, you don't see any impurity coming out of his body. There's no impurity on his body, is there? But Shariat has declared that this is a state where a person is in a state of impurity. Why? There's a possibility that some impurity has come out. We'll explain that later. But there's another scenario where there is even no possibility of any impurity coming out. For instance, Shariat has declared if a person laughs in salat, now I'll explain that later how many types of laugh there are, but keep it simple at the moment. If a person laughs in salat, his wudu and salat are both invalid. So in this scenario where a person laughs, Is there any chance of any impurity coming out? Any chance? Is this got a person laughing? Is this got anything to do with impurity? But what has Sharia declared? Wuzu is broken. So the one is where there is no imkan, no possibility of anything coming out, but Sharia has declared. The other one, there is a possibility of some impurity coming out, where Sharia has declared. You could say Sharia has given the benefit of the doubt, all right? What has Sharia done here? Given the benefit of the doubt that your wuzu is broken. Like, for instance, if a person is cut and blood comes out, blood starts to drip and come out, his wuzu broken. On the same token, if a person goes to sleep on his back or on his side, wuzu is broken. Regardless. The ruling here is the same as the ruling here. There's no difference. Why? Sharia said that this sleeping person, he's in the state of what? Hadas when he gets up. When he has to do wuzu. And this one, because there's a possibility of some impurity coming out. I'll explain that later, not here. And as far as this one is concerned, where a person laughs, no impurity has come out. But Sharia has declared wuzu is broken. So that's why there's two types of those impurities where Sharia has determined a person to be in the state of hadath. One is called imkan and one is called la imkan. Imkan means possibility and la imkan means no possibility. Meaning when a person laughs, is there any possibility of any impurity coming out? It's got nothing to do with impurity, but I'll explain why wuzu breaks later. This was the chart, you can say. Now we're going to go into a bit of detail. All right, as far as those things that break wuzu, there are two times. You can say nawaqis hakiki. So we're going to say this one. Very bad writing. How many types? There was two types of explaining this. This is another type. All right. So one is called nawaqid. What is the word? Hakiki. Nawaqid hakiki. And the other one is what? Nawaqid hukmi. Right. So what does hakiki mean? I just explained that. Where you can visibly see an impurity. Yes? For instance, something that comes out from the back and front, etc., blood, things, you can visibly see these ones. These are called nawaqis hakiki, and those ones which you cannot see, which Sharia has determined, where Sharia has determined that this person is in a state of hadas. Those are hukmi. All right, now we'll cover this, the hakiki ones first. So according to Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi, keep this in mind, according to the Hanfis, anything that comes out of the body, according to the Hanfis, anything from the back and the front, or anywhere apart from the back and the front. If anything comes out of their body, for instance, blood, it will invalidate wudu. But according to Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi, only those things will invalidate wudu that comes out from the back and the front. That's it. So according to him, if blood comes out, it doesn't invalidate. You got it? There's a big difference here. So according to Imam Shafi, only those things that come out from the back and the front. What do we mean? The private parts. It will invalidate wuzu. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, those two plus if impurity comes out from any other place of the body. For instance, a wound. Yes, you are cut and blood starts coming out. It will invalidate. This is a big difference. Imam Shafi, he says, al-ma'u min al-ma. That what is ma? Water is from water. So like water is pure, this water is pure as well. Finished, done. That is the deal. All right. According to Hanfis, we got another dalil. We say al-wudu'u min kulli damin sa'ilin. That every blood, any type of blood that flows, it will invalidate wuzu. This is our dalil. So he's got his dalil and we have got our dalil. Both have got dalil. Like I just said, these masaila ijtihadi. What are they? Ijtihadi. Ijtihadi means masail that have been extracted from the Quran and the Sunnah. So there's no definite answer. We will only find out the definite answer on the Day of Judgment. According to my knowledge, this is the definite answer. So what I say is this, according to me, this is the right answer. But at the same time, there's a possibility that I can be wrong. And on the same time, the other person can be right. But at the same time, there's a possibility he can be wrong as well. So both parties have got the benefit of the doubt. Both parties have got the... But today, what is our masla in the ummah? We don't give benefit of the doubt to anybody. I am right, everybody is wrong. That's the problem. That's where all the problem starts. Where I say I am right, and there is no other, you can say there is no other scenario to this masla. There is no other ruling to this masla. Now this is not a small masla. According to Imam Shafi, blood doesn't invalidate wudu. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, it does. What a big masla. It's big masla if you look in the context. But did they kill each other? No. But what is the masla today? That whatever I understand, that is haqq, that is it. There is no other scenario, there is no other solution. So if someone does come up with any other solution, what is he? He's kafir, he's a mushrik, or he's a bid'ati, innovator. One of the three. And this is the general temperament of the ummah today. General temperament. Either you are kafir, mushrik, or bid'ati. Even though these masail are what? Faru'i masail. They've got nothing to do with Aqidah. You only become a kafir if you have a problem in your Aqidah. And you know what the people, ulama say regarding that? There are 179 principles in Aqidah. Until a person does not tick all those boxes regarding somebody's statement or his belief. So if this person, for instance, a person's case is presented that he believes this regarding whatever. We have to check what those 179 principles. If all of them apply to what he said or what he does, then he will be kafir. Even if one does not apply, he's not kafir. And today, how many do we apply? Zilch. But the first thing that comes out is kafir. That's why inshallah, I'll be elaborating this in the coming weeks in detail. All right, now come back to the point. Another one. Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullah alayhi, as far as phalgam is concerned, phalgam, yes? Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullah alayhi says that wudu does not break. And phlegm, yes. It doesn't break. So what they do, fuqaha, they go in a lot of detail as far as this is concerned. This is not a possible scenario as well. This is regarding, so just keep it simple here. Forget about that one. That's enough for this masala. Imam Abu Yusuf doesn't break. He says, yes, it only breaks in one scenario, that if the film is coming from the bottom, from the stomach. And that's not possible anyway. So I don't know how he's come up with that masala. But like I just said, when these people study and when they go in depth, whatever scenario they can come up with, they will come up with. That's the book of fiqh. Books of fiqh are all hypothetical situations. So this is hypothetical. So he says generally it will not break, film will not break wuzu, but if it comes from the bottom of the stomach, then it will break, which I don't think is possible anyway. All right. Now, if a person, so blood, like I just said, so if a person spits or in his saliva, if the saliva is more dominant than the blood, then wuzu will not break. But if the blood is more dominant than the saliva, then wuzu will break. And what's the sign of this? It's not the quality, it's the quantity. It's the quantity. So the quantity of blood must be more in the saliva for wuzu to break. You got it? Or on the same token, another one I will explain here. You put something in your mouth, for instance, a toothpick, or you do miswak, and some blood starts coming. You see some blood on the miswak or on the toothpick. Will it break wuzu or not? No, it will not break wuzu as long as the blood is not flowing. If the blood is, and what is the sign that blood is flowing? But when you spit, the blood is dominant over the saliva. Yes, got it? Right. Another one. Vomit. So these are all hakiki, vomit. Third one is vomit. According to Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullah alayhi, he says that if a person is experiencing bad digestion and he wants to vomit, if he vomits mouthful in one go, so the general masla is that mouthful vomit will invalidate wuzu. Mouthful vomit will invalidate. So what is the definition of mouthful vomit? The definition of mouthful is that it is hard for you to control yourself. It is hard for you to keep your mouth closed, that you have to open it so much. That is mouthful. Anything less than that will not break wuzu. And it is not impure as well. Write it down. It is not impure. Only when it is mouthful, it is impure. So if it is not mouthful, it is not impure. According to Imam Yusuf rahmatullah, he says now, the word is in Urdu matli. Matli means that if you are experiencing vomiting in one majlis, in one sitting, multiple times, and if you collect all the vomit, it is mouthful, then your wuzu will break. If it is that, it is not. But Imam Muhammad Rahmatullah alayhi, he says that regardless of it being one sitting or two sittings or three sittings, if it's the same experience, the same nausea you experience in the other sittings as well, and if you combine all the vomit, it is mouthful, then it will break. You got it? No, you didn't get it.
It's the same thing though, isn't it?
No, it's not the same thing. Imam Yusuf Rahmatullah, it has to be in one sitting. So if a person is feeling to vomit, so if a person is he's not feeling well in this assembly, and he, for instance, he vomits a little bit, and then he gets up and he goes somewhere else, and he vomits again, but it's not from the first vomit. So you can say it's a new episode for him. Imam Muhammad says no, the episode doesn't matter. It's regardless of the episode that he's experiencing it here or there. If it's mouthful, we'll just collect all the vomits together. If it's mouthful, it will invalidate. That's the difference. All right. Another one. All right. Now we'll come to this one now. The hukmi one. The first one is sleeping.
So I can change the ruling you gave me.
What's that?
One time I asked you if I vomit, you go, yeah, you make your wudu again.
You're Shafi. No, mouthful. Mouthful, I said. It's less than mouthful will not invalidate. And it's not impure as well. So if that vomit soils your clothes or anything, you don't have to, then there's another masa. How much is it soiled? Then there's a different matter. All right. Next one, sleeping. Sleeping in its nature does not break wuzu. Sleeping, the reason being is if sleeping itself breaks wuzu, then all types of sleeping should break wuzu. But all types of sleeping do not break wuzu. For instance, a person is in sajda, a person is in ruku and he goes to sleep. Does it break wuzu or not? No. So wuzu itself does not break wuzu. Keep that in mind. What breaks wuzu? What breaks wuzu as far as sleep in the context of sleeping is istarkhai mafasil. When a person's body becomes loose, then there's a possibility that he can pass gas. That's the thing. So when the body becomes loose, there's a possibility he can pass gas. What did I say? Possibility. Remember? Possibility. Now you cannot appoint someone stand there to see if I pass gas or not. It's impossible. Yes? Can you stand here to see if I... So Shaykh says, just say it breaks. Why? Who's going to go to that extent now to appoint somebody that you pass or not? So Shaykh says, keep in mind the Prophet sleep did not break his wuzu. The Prophet sleep did not break his wuzu. His wudu would not be invalid by him sleeping. Why? He says, my eyes sleep, my heart does not sleep. The Prophet's heart did not sleep. You know why? Sleeping is a sign of a ghafil person, heedless person. What is it? Today you see these dietitians come up with a lot of things nowadays. You need 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep. You need to eat this and you need to eat this. This is all against the temperament and mazaj of Sharia. You know why? The real thing in the body is the soul. If the soul is alive, your spirit and your nafs is alive, you don't need to eat. You don't need to. Why we need to eat is that we ever made the effort on the soul, on the nafs. That's why it compels us, it forces us to eat. Because it's going to survive. But the soul's provisions is the dhikr of Allah Rabbul Izzat. That's why you see the more pious, righteous you become, the less you eat. And I've seen this myself. It's not their bellies are this big. This is a big misconception as well we have. Not that you see big ulama, they got big stomachs and this and that. It's not because they are not. Number one is there's many reasons behind that. One is the DNA is rubbish. One is the genes are rubbish. What are they? The genes are rubbish. That's why they put it on. One is that from the time they get up from Fajr to the time to Isha until they go to sleep, no exercise, nothing. They're sitting all day. That's it. They don't eat much. Maulana Qasim Nanotwi Rahmatullah, who was the founder of Darun Deoband, a few months before he passed away, he said, Alhamdulillah, I don't have to eat now. My soul is so... That's why the Prophet has prohibited, what is it called? Sawm Wasal. To continuously fast. He has prohibited the ummah. There's no permission for us. But himself 15, 16 days without eating anything. How many? 15 days without eating. You tell this to somebody, it's impossible, you're going to die. No one dies, brother. Why? We have made our nafs so fat and so strong and you can say, so overwhelming over us that we need to eat. 15 days the Prophet not to eat. And then the Sahaba said, look, you're telling us not to eat and you're not eating yourself. So give us permissions and we don't want to eat as well. The Prophet of Allah said, look, my rizq comes from the heavens. My rizq is the tasbih, the tasbih of Allah Rabbul Izzat, the zikr of Allah Rabbul Izzat. There's a reason why the Prophet didn't give permission. You know why? We wouldn't take it out of context today. This was the Prophet's mercy. If the Prophet gave permission, everyone would be doing it. And then we'd be dying, and then we blame Islam. You got it? We'd be doing it, and then and when we get sick, oh look, he's following Islam. That's not Islam. What is that? Yes, if you can reach that level, alhamdulillah. But Islam does not demand that we reach this level. Keep that in mind. Islam does not demand you reach that level. So Qasim Noti Chan, he goes, I only eat because this is the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah. If this was the sunnah, I would not eat at all. I don't need to eat because my ruh, my soul is so strong now. It suffices all my, you can say, physical needs. All right, coming back to the point now. So keep in mind, sleeping in general does not break. When does it break? Two conditions. Now this I will explain here once, and you're going to get surprised as well. So what is sleeping? Either on your back, on your stomach, on your side, you go sleep, finish. That will break. That will? So on your back, on your side, or and you fall asleep, eyes are closed, and you've got no control over your body. What's the definition of sleeping? Where you got no control. If someone picks up and throws you somewhere, you got no clue what's happening. That's sleeping, isn't it? Where you got no control over yourself. So when a person sleeps and his eye finished, it's all done. But on the contrary, if a person is leaning against something like this, and you remove that thing, and if he falls over, then his wuzu will break. But if you remove it and he doesn't fall over, then his wuzu will not break. And another one, if a person is sitting like this, where his buttocks are firmly placed on the ground, look like this. What are they? Are they firmly placed? This will not break wuzu. This will not break wuzu. When your buttocks are firmly placed on the ground like this, regardless of you sitting like this or sitting like that, it doesn't matter. You can be sitting on a car seat. You can be sitting in your car, in a driver's seat like this. And if you fall asleep, no problem. But the condition is you're reclining against the seat. So now the thing is that if we remove that, will you fall or not? That's the question now. So if you got that much control where you think that if you remove the back, you will not fall, your wuzu will not, you become invalid. So sitting like this, it does not break wuzu. Keep this in mind. Yes? Regardless you sitting like this or whatever, it will not break wuzu. What breaks wuzu is even if you're snoring. It does not break wuzu. Why? What was the condition of wuzu breaking? When your body becomes loose in this scenario, now what happens is that the body is not loose. You have placed your buttocks firmly on the ground. Now there's no chance of anything passing there. That's the reason. So when your buttocks are firmly placed on the ground, there's no chance of anything coming out from there. That's why your wuzu will not break. You got it? So next one, behoshi, falling unconscious. This is even a more severe situation than sleeping. In sleeping, you got no control. In this situation, you got no control as well. You got it? And then there's another one where you go crazy. Where you go? This is even more severe than sleeping. You know why? Here you got it's the same thing. What is it? You got no control over your body. So in these three scenarios, sleeping, falling unconscious, and going crazy, these three scenarios are all similar. And what is the similarity in these three? You've got no control over yourself. And when you've got no control over yourself, there's a possibility, imkan, that some impurity can come out. So Sharia said now you can't appoint anybody to see if any impurity has come out or not. So Sharia gives the ruling. That's what is, you're in the state of hadas. You have to do wuzu now. You got it? All right. Another one, laughing. Keep this in mind. As far as laughing is concerned, only according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi, wuzu breaks. According to Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam Ahmad, wuzu does not break. You know why? They say this is against logic. This is against what? Logic. How can wuzu break? What's it got to do with any impurity? In this matter, the Hanafis take a za'if hadith. Take it and they give it preference over qiyas. So some people blame the Hanafis that we do qiyas everywhere. Qiyas means analogy and we abandon the hadith. In this scenario, what are we doing? We're abandoning analogy. And what are we doing? We're taking the hadith even though it is weak. What is the hadith? Once the Prophet was praying and there was a Sahabi coming who was blind and he fell over into a ditch and the Sahaba started to laugh. There's two variations to this. The Sahaba started to laugh. After Salat, the Prophet turned around and said, who laughed? And they said, the Prophet said, go, your wuzu is broken. Go and redo your wuzu and redo your prayer as well. You got it? That hadith is weak though. What is it? Da'if. But Imam Hurairah takes it. You know why? He says even if there's a weak hadith, he will take a weak hadith over his analogy. So keep that in mind. So laughing only according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah. All the other schools, wuzu does not break. Iltaqai khatanain. This is iltaqai khatanain, where the husband and wife, their private parts meet. Their private parts, they don't penetrate or do anything, they just meet. So according to the fatwa is that it breaks. But Imam Abu Yusuf rahmatullah, Imam Abu Yusuf says it breaks. Imam Muhammad rahmatullah alayhi says it does not break. Why? Imam Abu Yusuf says there's a possibility that something can come out. Imam Muhammad says if that's the case, you can see it, you're awake. Why are you saying that his wuzu is invalid? So there's a difference of opinion there's a difference of opinion between Imam Yusuf and Imam Muhammad. The fatwa is on what? The fatwa is if they meet, what? The private parts wuzu breaks. You got it? That's the fatwas on that too. All right. According to the Hanfis, there's another one. According to Imam Shafi rahmatullah, there's another one. According to Imam Hanifa, massa zakar does not break. If you touch your private part, it will not break wudu. According to Imam Shafi, it does break. What is the dalil? The dalil is from the dalil is, all right. So this is another one. Massa imra, touching your wife, or any lady, it will break according to Shafis. According to Imam Hanifa, it will not break. They both take their evidence from one verse of the Quran, both of them. What is the verse? Awla mastumun nisaa. The word is awla mastumun. Allahu Akbar. What do they take? So they both, one verse, one ayah. Imam Abu Hanifa is taking this meaning. Imam Abu Shafi is taking this meaning. Why? The word is ambiguous. What does it mean? Allah saying, awla mastum. When you touch, what does this touching mean now? So according to Imam Shafi rahmatullah, he says general touching. What does he do? General. Imam Abu Hanifa says, no, this is not general touching. This means when they get together. This is in that scenario. Why? Because the verb Allah has used is from Bape Mufa'ala, where both parties have to play a role. The word is mufa. So this is got to do with Arabic morphology. What is it? Morphology. So when there's any verb on this pattern, mufa'ala, was it? Mufa'ala, awla, mastud, like this, it means that it is going to be from both sides. So if you are touching, the lady is not touching you, is she? You're touching. So it's not from both sides. So Imam Abu Hanifa says, no, this means when you go to bed. Yeah, it doesn't mean general touching. So according to Imam Shafi, it will invalidate. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, it will not invalidate. So like I just said, there's a lot of flexibility. Yes, as far as extracting and deriving masail are concerned from the Quran and the Sunnah. Yes, if the word is indefinite, definite, and there's no other possibility of any other meaning, then you can't say this. But if there's a possibility, now what do we mean by possibility? The possibility can be the verb, the pattern of the verb, the context of the verb, all these things. These all play a role to determine the meaning of the word. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, so this is done. Another one. So these are all done now. So how many have we got here? I'll just go through them. As far as the hakiki ones are concerned, start writing them down. Anything that comes out from the private parts. Number one. Got it? All right. Number two. All right. Number two. Blood coming out of the body or pus coming out of the body. And keep in mind that it has to flow. If it just becomes apparent, blood is just apparent, it doesn't flow. Flowing means there's a wound here. So it's got to transcend the wound. It's got to go beyond the wound and start flowing. If you only see the blood, it will not break. So seeing blood does not break until it does not flow. That's number two. Pus, the ruling for pus is the same. So if there's a wound and you got blood and you keep on going like this with the tissue, so it comes out after 10-15 seconds, another drop comes out and you go like this. Now all this time you've been doing this, if this was enough so all the times you did this, for instance, 10 times, if you consider 10 times was enough for the blood to flow, then your wuzu will break. But if you consider now, even if I did it 200 times, it wouldn't have flowed. Wuzu is not broken. Yes, you got it? All right. Another one. If blood comes in saliva, if blood is dominant over what? Saliva, then it will break. Otherwise it will not. All right. Number four, vomit. mouth full. That's it. These are the hakiki ones, that's it. All the rest are what hukmi. Or iltaqai hatanain as well. The private parts meeting, that's another one. Hakiki. And got it? All right.
So private
Private parts meeting. And according to Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi must say zakar. Touching the private part breaks, so you can put that down there. According to Imam Shafi rahmatullah, massa imra'ah, touching a lady or your wife, it breaks wuzu as well. So put that down there as well. According to Hanafis, it doesn't. All the rest are all hukmi, meaning sleeping. What is the other one? Falling unconscious. Number 3, going crazy. What else? That's about it, I think, isn't it? That's about it. Yeah, and there's another one, laughing. You got it? Another masla. This is a very important one as far as wuzu is concerned. If during wudu, you get this doubt, did I do this or not? Did I wash this limb or not? Or did I do masa or not? What should you do then?
Just go back and do it again?
If it's during wudu, just do it again. And if it's after wudu, then what do you do? It depends on how strong your doubt is. If you don't have to go back. So no, you don't go back. After wudu, you don't go back. After wudu, you don't go back. You have to see how strong the doubt is. If you think the doubt is 60%, 70%, then you go back. Then you have to do. And keep in mind, you can't just wet that limb. You got to wash it then. Yes, you can't just go back and say, all right, with wet hands go like this. You got to wash it then. You got it? So if it's during wuzu, just go back and do it. Don't worry about it. And if it's after wuzu, what do? You're going to see how strong the doubt is. If it's 50% plus, then what do? You go and wash it. And if it's less, but if you are certain that you didn't wash it, then you got to go back. It's obvious. This is the state of doubt I'm talking about. All right. Or keep in mind, where do you do wuzu? All right. If blood and pus or any impurity, so if impurity comes out, so if insect comes out of any part of the body apart from the private parts, it will not invalidate wuzu. Keep that in mind. So if an insect or anything comes out apart from the private parts, it will not invalidate. You know why? Because when it comes out from the private part, it's going to bring some impurity with it. You got it? But if it comes out from any other part, it won't bring any impurity with it. If it brings out, you got it? Because even if it brings out blood, it's not flowing. Even if there's a bit of blood on the inside, it's not flowing. You got it? So got another one. Another one is for a person so if impurity does come out of the body, it's got to soil that part of the body which is farz or wajib or mustahab to wash in wudu. So keep that in mind. So you tell me, so for instance, you got it? So if blood, pus or any other impurity comes out of the body, it's got to soil or cover that part of the body which is farz, wajib or mustahab to wash in wudu. You got it?
Yeah.
So is this mustahab? It's not farz or wajib, is it? So if it comes out, you have to do it again. In ghusl, is this farz? Yes, this is all farz as well. In ghusl is right in the A. It's not farz, is it? Right in the A. Is it? No. It's not right in the A. No, it's not farz. Your A drums. It's not farz to wash the A drums. So if some impurity comes there, but it doesn't come and cover this part, which is farz to wash in ghusl, then your wuzu is not broken. Your wuzu is not. So it's going to come and soil and cover that part, which is. So let's keep this simple. Or your whole body in ghusl is farz to wash. Finish. So if any impurity covers any part of that body which is farz to wash in ghusl, then you have to do wuzu again. What do you have to do? It will invalidate your wuzu. What will you do? It will invalidate. And if, for instance, I'll give you an example. Blood comes out of the nose, but it doesn't pass the A drums. It doesn't pass the A drums. So number one, is it farz to wash the A drums in ghusl? No. So now it's not past that part, has it? But if it comes here, then yes, it will break your wuzu. But if it doesn't, it will not break your wuzu. You got it?
So the blood's coming out of the ears, you say?
Yeah, there is. Anything, I'm just saying. Any impurity, I'm just saying, even some water coming out of the ear. So if water comes out of the eyes or the ears with pain, this water will be considered to be impure. So if a person is just crying, tears do not invalidate wuzu. But if this water is coming out with pain, that means there's a sickness behind that. So that this will break wuzu. Keep that in mind. So any type of impurity that comes out of the body apart from blood and this stuff, any other thing, if it comes out with pain, this is a principle, it will invalidate. What is the condition? Pain. So pain, coming out with pain. You got it?
So you wax as well.
No, you wax. That doesn't come out with pain. Right. I'm just seeing if there's anything. So the sleepy one's done and the sitting position is done.
Yeah.
So all sleep-ins do not break wuzu. So if a person is in ruku and he goes sleep, it will not break. If a person is sajda and he goes sleep, it will not break. Why? Because the body is not loose, which in Arabic is called istarkhai mafasil, where the body becomes loose. It's not loose. So what is it? It's stiff. So when a person's body is stiff, he doesn't pass. You don't pass gas. You got it?
So qiyam also.
Yeah, qiyam. He goes sleep. It will not break. That's obvious. Yes. All right.
We just go.
And keep in mind what laughing breaks wuzu for that. Laughing breaks wuzu for that prayer that is got qiyam, ruku, and sajda. Not for salat janaza. Because so if a person laughs in salat janaza, he will not break his wuzu. You know why? Because salat janaza is not salat. It is not namaz. It is a dua. Because salat consists of how many things? Qiraat, qiyam, qiraat, ruku, sujood. 4 things. And this only consists of what? There's no qiraat in salat janaza, is there? Is there any qiraat? No qiraat. What is it? It's only dua. There's only qiyam and dua. So salat janaza means dua for the deceased. So it's in real. That's why they say that if you are in you're going to perform salat janaza and you've got time to do wuzu, or the taps are very far, and you believe that if I go to the taps and do wuzu, my salat janaza will be missed. What do? Just quickly do tayammum. Now this is regarding salat janaza, but for salat, have you got this provision? No, you have to go. Why? If water is available, you have to do wuzu. Then you can't go to the secondary source, which is what? Tayammum. You got to go to the preliminary source. You got it? So I think this one's all covered now. So, yes? Yeah. Any questions now?